Okay, so here I am, part 3. The sun has gone well and truly down, and so I've turned on a lamp and kind of pointed the light things at the desk. Hopefully it's not too dark. Not as good as natural light, but it'll have to do for today. I think I've mentioned before I've been doing a lot of tea dyeing. So this is one of the latest batches that came out. This is pretty light. This is the last of the coffee dyeing. I think I'm going to stick with tea. It comes out darker for whatever reason. But I do like these papers. This has a little bit of cross-contamination on it from the batch of blue dye that never dyed. But I'm getting some good, I don't know if it's going to show up on here, but I'm, getting some pretty good effects. Can see kind of the color variations, and I'm happy with that. I would just like it to be a tiny bit darker, but I'm overall very satisfied with this paper. This one's kind of drippy and splotchy, but I think they came out pretty good. So and I have many more than this. This is just what I had. I kind of got it flattened out a little bit. And then here's some of the lined paper I did. This is just College Rule refill paper, and this one is tea here, this darker color, and these other ones are coffee. As you can see, some wonderful just kind of grungy, and I just love the noise that it makes. I know that's silly, but I really do like it. And then some other papers here. Get some good grungy ones in there. Not much in the way of color variation other than the kind of the splotchiness of it. And I did get, I don't know if it's going to show on here. Oh, that one's got a rip. But along some of the edges, like on this one, I got a nice kind of toasty edge. I'm not sure how that happened. But I like the effect. So these ones are probably going up on Etsy because I have done about a ream of paper just in my zeal to try out different kinds of teas and different strengths of coffee and different dyeing times and all of that. I have now a surplus of paper. And not everybody has the time or the patience to coffee or tea dye papers and wait for them to dry. And I don't do mine in the oven like a lot of people do. I dry mine on top of the stove. I put it down a kind of grungy rag towel and I lay the papers out on that. One, because I don't want to keep an eye on the paper in the oven. I kind of have a short attention span where that's concerned, and while I've never heard of anybody setting the paper on fire, you can overcook the papers and ruin them. They become too brittle and they get a little too crispy. So I just do mine on top of the stove with the oven on warm. They dry reasonably quickly. I do them in batches of 6 or 8, and then so when I do it with the tea, the first 2 or 3 sets come out really dark, and then they get progressively lighter, and then I boil more tea and go through the process again. So I have found that I really, really like tea dyeing papers. It's just fun. I like to see what kind of effects come out with different kinds of papers. So that has been just a lot of fun for me. I did find this free printable today, or maybe it was last night, with some dragonflies, and then just, dream, love, believe, laugh, joy, hope, peace. So I printed up some of those. I think I might print up another sheet. I think they're meant to be like kind of journaling cards. They're kind of small though. So maybe as I'm not sure what I'll do with them, but they're cute and I like them. There's no way to resize the image from what I, made a copy off of. So, but maybe I can find different sizes of something similar. This was a free printable from Pinterest, and I'll definitely use some of this in as add-ins to these journals that I'm making. I like the colors. I like the little dragonflies and stuff. They're just fun. So I did find that. And then my son loves Lunchables. And so this week they were on sale where he works. And I have more. These are just the two that are handy. This is on the underside of them is like the nutrition label. And I like the size of this for like maybe a journaling card or an art card of some kind. I can gesso over it and put on some images or some pretty paper or both. But I like the size, and it's ready to go. It just needs a little, you know, to not be a nutrition label. And look at all those ingredients for all the processed. I don't normally say yes to that sort of thing, but they were on sale and he really likes them, and I don't often say yes to processed food, so he's been enjoying that. Let's see, what have I got? I've a little over 5 minutes here. So keep finding little bits of things. I received a couple of more books today to take apart. It looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 5 over in the other pile. 5 of them are monster books. They're over 800 pages, and they'll take a little while to deconstruct, but the other ones are smaller and probably only take a couple hours while I'm watching a video or catching up on YouTube. And my neighbor just came in, and whenever he hears me talking, he stops outside the door and listens. Probably thinks I'm crazy talking to myself. So yeah, so I kept these off the bottom, and it was like 10 for $10, and that's what he got. So there are 8 more of them somewhere around here. But yeah, I'll definitely reuse that. I like to upcycle and recycle where I can. So I'm going to end this video because the next part that I'm going to talk about are the, I've started tentatively cutting out covers for some book, for the 8x8 books that I want to make. And then I had a lot of scrap pieces, so I made smaller and smaller ones out of all of the pieces. So this is going to be quite an undertaking, and I will show those in part 4, which should be the last part for this series. And then I'll have a couple more tomorrow where I talk about these little tiles with the pictures of the Greek gods and goddesses, and some collage work that I like to do. So I'll be back in a minute with another segment of this video. Bye!